1. Maze design. The exits are not hidden by accident. They are part of the game. This is the maze design, also known as the layout trap, which uses nonlinear space with no obvious paths to the exits. This works because when you are confused about direction, you stop having a goal-oriented mindset, for example, I'm going to the exit, and adopt an exploratory mindset, like what's around this corner. Every winding path and angled machine works to keep you in the middle of the action, maximizing the time you spend exposed to gambling opportunities. In summary, when you can't find the exit, you're forced to find a table. 2. Sensory overload. The lights and sounds aren't random. They're a carefully programmed chemical release. Sensory overload is the careful use of bright, flashing lights, upbeat music, and the continuous, loud sounds of cascading coins, even if it's just digital, to create a high arousal state. This excitement cueing works because it releases a hit of dopamine in the brain, regardless of who is winning, masking the reality of losing money. The constant noise and visual input also prevent boredom and keep you alert, delaying fatigue. In summary, the noise is not only celebration, it's an invitation to spend. 3. Crowd energy. Every time you hear a massive cheer, it's a form of free marketing. Crowd energy is the strategic use of the social proof of winning. Even small wins are amplified through sound systems and flashing lights, causing nearby players to look up. This works because it triggers social proof, the psychological shortcut that if others are winning, the activity must be safe, profitable, or fun. This drives nearby players to get back in the action immediately. In summary, the sound of a jackpot is simply the most profitable jingle in the world. 4. Time distortion. You won't find a single clock or external window in the main gambling floor. This is time distortion, the removal of clocks and windows to create a perpetual present or a timeless bubble. This works because our human brain relies on natural circadian rhythms and external visual cues to mark the passage of time, regulate activity, and make rational decisions. By eliminating clocks and windows, the casino shuts off your internal sense of time, eliminating the motivation to stop playing because it's getting late. In summary, when you lose track of time, the casino has already won. 5. Private play. Slot machines are the ultimate psychological isolation chamber. Private play refers to the subtle design of slot machine clusters that are angled inward, giving the player a sense of privacy and isolation. This works because solitary play eliminates social accountability. When you're alone, there is no friend to tap you on the shoulder and ask if you're sure you want to pull another $200 from the ATM. This isolation encourages deep, hypnotic focus on the machine. In summary, the quieter your environment, the louder the machine's message becomes. 6. Tokenization. Casinos want you to stop seeing money as money. Tokenization is the use of chips and tokens that replaces tangible cash. This works because our brains are less sensitive to losing an abstract unit than losing money, making it feel less like a finite resource. For example, a $100 bill feels heavy and real, but a stack of $25 chips feels like monopoly money, making it easier to risk. In summary, the chips are designed to feel abundant, even when your funds are not. 7. Comping. That free cocktail is the most expensive drink you'll ever have. The free drink trap is the use of comping to offer complimentary alcoholic beverages to players. This works because alcohol lowers inhibitions and impairs judgment, making a player more likely to take bigger risks and ignore their internal financial limits. It's an investment in a higher risk, less rational player. In summary, the house's generosity is a cheap ploy for your inhibition. 8. The loyalty program. The more you lose, the more the casino gives you status. The loyalty program, or status trap, rewards you with complimentaries like free hotel rooms, buffets, or priority seating based on how much you play. This works because it exploits the human need for status and belonging. People will literally lose thousands of dollars chasing a complimentary meal worth $50 because the comp feels like an earned reward and a validation of their status regardless of their net loss. In summary, they are not rewarding your loyalty, they are ensuring your continued losses. 9. Selective memory. If you ask a gambler to list their biggest wins and losses, they'll remember the wins first. Selective memory is the cognitive bias where players only remember the wins, however small, while quickly forgetting the far more numerous losses. This works because our brains prioritize information that confirms our beliefs, in this case, the belief that we are a lucky or skilled gambler. Gamblers reinforce this by making wins loud and visually dramatic, while losses are quiet and swiftly swept away. In summary, the house makes noise when you win, so you forget the silence when you lose. 10. False win. The casino is celebrating when you lose your own money. False win occurs when your payout is less than your original bet, but the machine uses celebratory lights and sounds. If you bet $5 but win $2, you lost $3, but the machine treats it like a victory. This works because these celebratory sensory cues override the logical part of your brain that processes the net financial loss. It keeps the dopamine loop firing, preventing you from registering the negative feedback needed to stop playing. In summary, if you spend more than you get back, it is a loss, no matter what the machine says. 11. Illusion of control. Why do people blow on dice before they throw them? The illusion of control is giving players the feeling that their behaviors, like blowing on dice, shaking the slot machine lever, or leaning into the ball on the roulette wheel, will influence a random outcome. This works because humans possess a cognitive need to believe they can control their environment, especially during uncertain events. This illusion keeps players engaged by masking the underlying randomness of the game. In summary, your rituals don't control the outcome, they only control your desire to keep playing. 12. Illusion of skill. Your brain reacts to almost winning the same way it reacts to actually winning. The illusion of skill is a game design trick where the result is intentionally close to a jackpot, like landing 2 out of 3 matching symbols. This works because, according to fMRI studies, a near miss triggers the same reward centers in the brain as an actual win, even though you lost. So your brain interprets the near miss as a sign of progress, encouraging you to keep playing because you feel you are due or getting close. The reality is that the outcome was just as much a loss as any other. In summary, a near miss is a perfect loss, psychologically engineered to feel like a win. 13. The gambler's fallacy. This is the dangerous belief that the coin remembers what it did last time. The gambler's fallacy is the mistaken belief that a streak of bad luck makes a win more likely in the future, or vice versa. If red has hit 10 times in a row on the roulette wheel, you desperately bet on black, believing it's due. This works because humans instinctively look for patterns, even where none exist. But in reality, every spin, every dice roll, and every card deal is an independent event. In summary, randomness is not self-correcting, it is simply random. 12. Chasing losses. The pain of losing $100 is twice as strong as the joy of finding $100. Chasing losses is the rationalization that you must keep betting to win back the money that you have already lost. This works because research shows that the desire to recover a loss is a much stronger motivator than the desire for a comparable gain. As players lose, they invest more money to get back to even, justifying the spending as an attempt to recover their original investment, rather than seeing it as a new, high-risk bet. In summary, when you're trying to get back to even, you've already lost. 15. Compulsion Loop. The most addictive drug in the world is the unpredictability of a reward. Compulsion Loop is the unpredictable reward schedule built into all casino games. It means you don't know when the next payout will come, only that one will eventually come. This works because it is the single most powerful behavioral conditioning schedule known to psychology, creating a persistent, hopeful anticipation that releases maximum dopamine. The uncertainty forces the player into a compulsion loop, where the only rational response feels like one more play. In summary, unpredictability is the foundation of addiction. So there it is, the complete psychological blueprint of the casino floor. It's a game of human nature designed to exploit your inherent cognitive biases. The next time you walk onto a gaming floor, which one of these traps will you look for first? Let me know in the comments below.